Welcome to the Strategic Swing Trader weekly broadcast. I am Sami Abasad, Director of Education at T3 Live. We are going to be going over the charts. I'll give you my swing ideas for tomorrow. I will also share with you my market bias and game plan for tomorrow. But before we start, as always, a standard required disclaimer to let you know that trading is risky and that whatever we discuss is for educational purposes only. As always, if you're new to our channel and you haven't done so already, please be sure to download my free ebook. Its link for that is in the description below. All right, without further ado, let's turn to the charts and get started. If you have any questions or need any help, need to reach out, email us info@t3live.com. And if you find benefit in today's video, be sure to hit the like button, be sure to subscribe, leave us a comment, whatever you need, okay? All right, the market. We've had an amazing move up, and last week we gapped up at the start of the week and then went sideways. No reason to think that the market is going to come in, because it tried to come in already last week and it failed a couple times, and that was, I think, Thursday and Friday. Both times it tried to break down and then went back above the 20 period moving average on the hourly chart. So no reason to think that it's going to break down, but the bias should still remain bullish, and we will almost never take out this low that we got. So long-term bullish, short-term bullish also, barring a break of last week's base. So as long as we don't take out last week's lows, which I think on the Q is 383.18, and then on the SPY, I don't remember what it is. I would say on the SPY 448. So as long as we don't take out those two numbers, the lows, then the bias should remain also short-term bullish, but long-term bullish no matter what the market does. We take out the lows, we take out the highs, bullish. Short-term, if we take out the lows, then that suggests we might be in for a pullback. But barring a break, we should be all out bullish on the market, okay? And that's all there is to it. It's pretty simple. I copied and pasted the watch list that I'm about to go over with you in the video description if you want to get that, but the watch list in the video description is a bit longer. I shared with you my entire watch list for tomorrow basically, whereas right here I'm just going to go over the favorites. Okay, the ARR probably already triggered on Friday. The entry should have been over $17, but notice it's not too late. I think looks good over 17.23 with a could be a tight stop under 16.60, but I'd give it the room to $16. Okay, and target is about 19.50 on the ARR. It's a daily breakout. AVPT is also a daily breakout, but it's not the type that's transitioning. It's more the type that's continuing to move higher. The ARR is transitioning from being bearish to being bullish. This thing has been bullish for a long time and has been basing now at the top. So over the base, stop under it. So, you know, go to the highest point, which is, it looks like 840, and then the stop should be under the support. There's this support and there's that support. I tend to give it more room than not. So I would use 799 as the stop, under 799, okay? On the AVPT. AYX had a pretty bullish gap a couple weeks ago, and it's actually been basing, though the base slanted upwards. I like it higher over last week's high, which would be over Wednesday's high, $39, with a stop under 37.20, and target is the 200 period moving average, that red line, which is $43. Okay, so over 39 by 37.40 with a stop 37.20 with a target at 43. CAG looks beautiful. Daily base breakout over 28.30. Stop can be as tight as 27.50, or might as well give it to 27.29. I mean, what do we lose? 20 cents more in terms of the stop. And target on it, it has a lot of room. The issue is it's been basing for a long time and the 20 MA is catching up. So it looks like it's about $29 for target 1, and then target 2, perhaps the 20 on the monthly. That's too far above, so maybe somewhere around here for target 2. That's a nice big bottoming tail on the monthly chart. Some of you call it a hammer. I just call it a bottoming tail, but I like it over the base, stop under it. The CHGG also had a bullish gap on earnings and now has a 1, 2, 3, 4. So I like it over 10.75, stop under $10, and target, I would target about, that's 13 bucks. That's a lot of, I mean, that's really high R to R, a lot of room. But maybe target one right here, the 200 MA, an entry stop, target 1, target 2, okay? On the CHGG. ENPH, we have a lot of things that are down a lot and that are trying to transition. In fact, we have 2 in the solar sector that I like. Let me check FSLR just to see what it's doing. Not bad. Not bad, but not perfect, because the 20 hasn't yet flattened out and started pointing upwards. But if we look at the FSLR, that's a monthly buy setup. Anyways, I was just about to say that there's a couple of solar stocks that are down so much. This is one of them, the ENPH. Another one is the SEDG also, that are trying to transition on the daily chart. So if we look at the SEDG, notice it's trying to transition. Gap down, got bought. Gap down, got bought on high volume. And it's not perfect yet, so it may need a day or two before it's ready to go. Okay, on the SEDG. I think the ENPH is actually stronger and might be ready to go over $94 with a stop under 88.50, and that's the tightest, absolute tightest. Those two are a little bit aggressive. Let me check some of the other solar stocks as well. CSIQ, SPWR, RU. That's not bad on the SPWR. RUN is even better. And then we saw the FSLR. Here's the JKS. So SPWR is not too bad, honestly. Okay, and then the ENPH and the SCDG. FUBO is starting to break out. So like it higher, over 335. Unfortunately, the FUBO, we're not playing it off the 20s. It would be, so it's a little bit extended here. Long stop and treat as a long-term play, because I wouldn't use, I don't usually take a play with a very wide stop unless I'm looking at a longer term play. Here's the weekly breakout. So it looks okay. Looks okay on the FUBO. HMY, just like most other gold stocks, looks really higher, and I like it over this bar's high, which is 560, with a stop under 530. Like it long term on the HMY. Let me check the KGC real quick, because I was in it and I decided to get out of it. Not KHC, KGC. Decided to get out of it before earnings, and it actually went back up. So it's too sloppy, but over the base, stop under it. We'll be watching it. So I like the HMY for now. A couple of the airlines that I mentioned that I'm in are already a little late. The DAL is already underway, and then the ALK is already underway. It was in last week's video. The LUV looks to be the next one to pop, to transition. So I like it higher, over 2505, no, 2510, with a stop under 2418. Target is about here, maybe a little bit more on the LUV. MKC reminds me the ARR was in a bearish downtrend that accelerated. So take a look, down a lot and then finally falls apart. That's the panic selling. Bottomed a long time ago, so I'm not trying to catch the bottom here. The bottom happened back here as a double bottom, which was very casual. There was no way to be able to predict that that was going to be the bottom, and it never set up until now as a base breakout. So over the base, there's a very tight stop under the hourly base right here, or a wide stop would be under $64 on the MKC. Target the prior high at around 71, and maybe even gets to 75. But MKC I like a lot. We talked about the ENPH and the SCDG being transitioning. The Moderna is also transitioning. I like them when they spend a lot of time above the 20 while they're transitioning. I like them when they base it for a lot, a couple weeks or so. In this case, we haven't had a long base, just a couple days, but long stop, tight stop also. A little bit aggressive, but Moderna fell apart from like $550 or so. No, just from 500 to 76 bucks. The vaccine company, right? PACW is a buyout by BANC. Okay, they both look higher, and if this pops, the PACW will pop with it, I believe, and this looks better. So I'm willing to play the PACW, planning on playing it over 840, I thought. Yeah, over 840 with a stop either under 777 or under 792. 777 for me. Target about 10 bucks on the PACW. I'm also in the DPST, which does look higher, but it's a little bit late because it gapped. So over the base, stop under it. And then I'm also in the BNKU. Those are the regional banks and the medium-sized banks. But this is too late, the BNKU. The DPST might not be late, and that's the leveraged ETF for the regionals, okay? A PLTR already in it. Okay to add, I think, because it's not too late. The PLTR, I hope this one follows through because I really have nice size in it. Hope it follows through, and target on it is about 27 bucks. I like it higher over, if you're not in already, over 2060 by 1929 on the PLTR, target 27. That's why I said it's not too late. A lot of the other ones that are open positions that are breaking out, like Uber, is too late. DraftKings, Uber is an open position also in the newsletter. DraftKings, DKNG is a little late. DoorDash might not be late because it's based a little bit, but extended. So a lot of these are looking good. Let's take a look at the Roku. I think the Roku might be late. Yeah, Roku's higher but late. Looks good. They all trigger the 1, 2, 3 on the weekly chart. Also ARK, which I like a lot, long term, trigger the 1, 2, 3. Look at the monthly. I think this will give us a lot of other entries, so I'm not too worried about missing out on it. But I would have liked to have gotten in it on the 1, 2, 3. It's just that it gapped. That's the issue with the ARK. The TGT gapped up on earnings, has a tight base, so over the base, stop under it, and the target is tiny. It's only the 200 MA on the daily chart. That's the issue with the target. So if you feel comfortable putting the stop right here, then I think it will have plenty of R to R, reward to risk. But if you give it more room, then the R to R is going to be low. THRX, similar to the target, in that it gapped up and is basing, so over the base, stop under it. Looks good. And this one has a lot of room. Of course, it's low odds, I think, that it will keep running up. So we would just have to manage it. Maybe it gets to 5, maybe to 450, I don't know. But this has a lot more room than the TGT. TMF is already an open position, and I really have nice size in it. This is the leveraged ETF for the TLT, okay? And if you look at the TLT, the 20-year treasury, just look at it objectively on the monthly chart, okay? So this thing falls apart as the Fed started to raise interest rates and goes to all-time low. Look at it, from $200 or so, looks like 180, 179, all the way down to 84, 82, into the all-time high, and puts in the biggest volume ever. That's not bad at all. How much is it going to rally? Is it going to just get to $100 and top out? That's what I don't know. But I really, really like it. I'm in it, looking to add to it. I'm in the TMF. I'm not in the TLT. Looking to add to the TMF if it can take out $5. My stop right now is at 439, under 439. So right here. But honestly, as soon as it pops, I'll probably raise the stop to 466 under this pivot. So there's a couple of places to put the stop. One would be, so the entry we know is over 5. One would be under 466. Another would be under 440, 439, somewhere here. So whatever you want. And the target is a little bit tricky because I think the TLT has room to just $100 initially. Or this could also be a longer term entry. Long-term entry, okay? But the target is going to be the 20 MA on the monthly chart. Unless we decide to keep it long-term. The VZ, the TLT, the VZ and the T, the AT&T, and the TMUS, T-Mobile, all look higher. And they all look like they bottomed. I mean, the AT&T is already an open position, FYI, but it's not too late. I just got in it over 80, I think, over 75 or 80, over here. Stop is under 1546, so it's not too late. Over 1604, I think, would be the new entry now, if you're not in it. But what I like about it is that I feel it bottomed, and it's a 20 all-time low, like 25-year low or more. Okay, on the AT&T. Here's the daily bottom. Went climactic, gapped, pulled in, shook me out, of course, and it's just been grinding up. The same with the VZ. Down a lot, double bottomed, actually took out the prior low, and then bottomed, and now has a base breakout. So long over the base, stop under it. I like both VZ and AT&T. TMUS is the strongest, so that looks good too. Over the base, stop under it, but that's not catching the bottom. And that doesn't pay 7-8% dividend like the AT&T and the VZ does. But it looks higher still. So those are the longs. Here's the shorts for you. I got AMLX as a base breakdown. Looks pretty good. I like it under the lows. Stop above the highs. It's a pretty wide stop, but like it. The CHPT gap down on Friday. Didn't go anywhere. So if it breaks under the lows, I think that would follow through. So under 195, stop over 212 on the CHPT. No target in mind because it's at all-time low. Flywheel is a daily sell setup. So, or fly wire rather. Fly wire. Under 2190, let's say 2190. Stop over 23.25 and target is the prior low, which is $19. It's $18.65, but call it 19. So it's a daily sell setup hourly breakdown on the fly wire. The FREY gap down and is not able to rally, so I like it under the base right here. Stop above on the FREY, and VUZI gap down rallied but now has a breakdown, so under the base right here, stop above this pivot right here. It's 245. So again, under 232 by 246 on the VUZI, and the WOW, that's a pretty sell setup, so I like it short under 375 with a stop over 406. Target is the prior low, which would be around $3. It's 280, but let's say $3. Okay, so those are kind of the favorite shorts. Again, in the description, the video description, there's a longer list if you want to check it out. What I do is I watch these items for tomorrow, but anything that fails, I get rid of it. Anything that doesn't trigger but still looks good, I keep it. I carry it over to the next day, so to Tuesday, Wednesday. Okay. So this list that I shared with you is good for tomorrow, and I update it every day. You see what I mean? So I hope that helps. I hope that helps. And if it does, and if this video was helpful, be sure to hit the like button. Again, reach out if you have any questions. We're here to help. info@t3live.com. And with that said, hope you have a great week. Hope we have Thanksgiving this week. So in advance, happy Thanksgiving. And I will catch you on the next video. Take care, everybody. Ciao.